Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego. It's Diego here in the Panhandle of Florida. Are you guys ready for another live stream? And we hope you're doing well. Karina is at work today in Bogota, Colombia. Actually, she works in a town further north in Bogota. She's managing a ice cream store in a town north of Bogota. And she's got one heck of a bus ride to work every day. And the reason I know that it's not in Bogota, which I thought it was, is because I just filled out her DS-160 and submitted it to the U.S. Embassy. And I sent her a text and I said, hey, I need the address from where you work. And she sent me back the address. It didn't say Bogota. It said Soachi or something like that. So I learned something new today. I always thought she was working in Bogota. But we're waiting for our K-1 visa to get adjudicated. We got our Anyway 1 letter. We got our Anyway 2 letter. We got our in transit, we got our ready status, we got all that jazz, okay? And then I got an email from the embassy. So I got my ready status this month, October 4th, and I got the email from the embassy yesterday during the live stream. I just didn't know it. It was when we did the live stream in the morning. So it took 10, 11 days from the ready status to getting the letter, the welcome letter, the packet 4 from the U.S. Embassy. So it took 10 days. And so today, this evening, just before the live stream, I just spent like an hour processing Karina's DS-160. I got a headache now. Whew, I tell you what. Today she went to the visa place to get her passport photos taken. She emailed the store, actually the tienda, the store in Bogota, emailed me the passport photo. And then I tried to upload it into the DS-160, but it was too big of a file. I did a test run, said the file's too big. So I went in and I shrunk the file down to 600 times 600 megapixels. And then I went to do the DS-160, which took about an hour, and the passport photo uploaded perfectly. And then I got the confirmation page that after I did all this to help Karina. It's all in English, okay? Everything is in English, so she wouldn't understand it unless I translated it. So I was texting her the questions, and then she was responding back to me in Spanish. I would transmit the questions. She would email me back or in the WhatsApp in Spanish her answers, and then I would plug it in the DS-160. So at the end, when I completed the DS-160, they ask you, did anybody help you with this DS-160? Well, yeah, I helped her. It's much more efficient for me to use my computer here than for her to use her laptop when she gets a free time. And then hopefully the internet doesn't go down. And imagine if the internet went down in the middle of transmitting the DS-160. So when I got done with it, I put in there was a question, did anybody help you with this DS-160? And I put yes. And I put my name and address in there as her helper, which is perfectly fine. And then I printed the confirmation page. I don't know where it's in here somewhere. I printed the confirmation page for her. So this went to the embassy in Bogota. All right. So there we go. That's the confirmation page right there for the DS-160. Whew, what a day. I got a headache. Kinza Zane. Hello, Diego. Hello. What's going up, Kinza? What's going on? Alex Mo. Hey, Diego, got my interview for December 2nd. I knew you would. I knew you'd get it. Just gotta keep looking and looking and looking, and you did it. Congratulations, Alex. I'm proud of you. Kinza Zane. Diego, I finished with the DS-160. I'm going to pay for the visa now. There you go. That's the process. So when I got the email from the embassy in Bogota, they sent me an email. Okay, let me see if I can find it. And the email was this is the letter from the embassy, and it's all in Spanish, which is no problem for me because I can understand Spanish. But I made it easier. I translated the letter. I did a copy paste of the letter into a WordPerfect and translated it into English to make sure I didn't make a stupid mistake. And then here is where I did the copy paste into English. So I translated the letter from the embassy right here, okay, into English right here. And then here's my notes. You know, the first thing is get the documents. The second thing is complete the DS-160. And the third thing is pay for the visa interview. And then the fourth thing is, whatever the fourth thing is, let's see here. Contact the embassy panel of doctors, schedule the medical exam. And then the fifth thing is attend the fingerprint appointment at the CAS, which is the Applicant Service Center. And then the sixth thing is attend the visa interview. So how about that? You get to experience it right here. And Kinza Zane is going to pay the visa fee. Go ahead, knock it out. Kinza Zane, no appointments available. Keep looking. Keep looking. Hiba Orozoko. Hey, Alex, did you fill out the DS-160? Farah, let me see. Farah Andikan. Hi, Diego. Hope you're doing great. Every day is a good day. This is probably a silly question. There are no silly questions here. But can all the vaccines be injected at the time of the medical exam? I don't know. That's up to the civil surgeon, Farah. It depends on the medical condition, the health condition of the person, and it's up to the civil surgeon. Maybe, maybe not. It depends. So I don't want to answer that. You know, I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm not giving you any legal advice. I'm not giving you any medical advice. No, I'm not going to do that. But I recommend you ask the civil surgeon that question. See what they say. Play DS-160 is after approval. You fill out the DS-160 when you get the packet for the email. When you get the email from the embassy, right here with the instructions telling you what to do, and it says it's all in Spanish. So I went ahead and forwarded this to Karina in Bogota, and she read it, and then I translated it into English for me so I don't mess up. So here's my translation right here. All right. Even though I can read Spanish, you know, some words get mixed up, and I didn't want to mix up my brain. My brain cells are dead already after doing this visa process. So I wanted to make sure it was nice and easy for me. Heba Rozoko, do you pay the visa fee in the MVC website or the embassy website for the Dominican Republic? Heba, I got a feeling you pay in the embassy website. You're paying the embassy. When your K1 visa leaves the MVC, when your K1 visa is sent to the embassy washes its hands of your K1 visa package. If you try to contact the MVC after you get your ready status from the MVC will totally say to you, we don't have any control over your case. This is in the hands of the embassy right now. Don't contact us anymore. USCIS will tell you the same thing. USCIS is done with you. NVC is done with you. Now it's the embassy. The embassy now controls your life. Okay? At the ready status. Kinza Zane, in order to pay for the visa until appointment available. Okay? Just pay it. You can't schedule your visa interview until you've submitted the DS-160 and paid for the visa. You got to pay for it. Rue Willies, great progress, Diego and Karina. Happy for you. Well, thank you, Ruhi. We appreciate you. It's a slow process, but as long as you're patient and you slow down. Once I got this email from the embassy in Bogota, I took a day off. I didn't jump right on it. I took a day off, and then I read it slowly in Spanish. I read it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. I read it. Then I copy-pasted it and translated it into English to make sure I didn't make any stupid mistakes. And then today, I started the process, and Karina's DS-160 was completed. We did it together through WhatsApp. We worked it together. I mean, I sent her question after question after question. She's at work, and she's trying to work, and I'm sending her question after question. And she's responding like a good trooper. And we got it done, and I submitted her DS-160, and I signed her name with her permission. Boom. She's got her DS-160 in the hands of the embassy in Bogota. She's good. Now I got to pay it. I'll pay for the visa tonight. When you guys go to bed and you're in relaxing, drinking your cocoa and your galletas, I'm going to be working on this K1 visa. Let me see. Alex Mo, Diego, what was that website you said I can use to translate? Well, I used Google Translate. That is recognized by USCIS. That's a Spanish group. So you can translate a birth certificate. Yeah, the Spanish group. Google the Spanish group, okay? Upload the birth certificate into your computer, upload it, and then email it to the Spanish group, pay the $24, whatever it is. It's one page, right? It's like $24, and in 2 days, 3 days max, you'll have it emailed back to you with a certification. This is a certified translation, and USCIS will accept that. Then you print it. Doesn't have to be the original, just print it. TheSpanishGroup.com. And they don't pay me a dime to say that. I'm just trying to help you guys. You can use any translation company you want. But for 8 years, I've used the Spanish group, and they've only been around 10 years. So I was one of their first customers, and they do a great job. Let me see. Markeisha Smith. Markeisha. Hey, Diego. What's going on, Markeisha? So how soon after NOA2 do you suggest filling out the DS-160? Okay. You fill out the DS-160 like I did today. I just got done with it. I got a headache. I just got done with it. I did it once I got the instructions from the embassy, the packet 4. It says, I translated it from, it says here in Spanish, in Spanish, it says, this is the packet of instructions for your fiance for the K1 visa, packet 3 and packet 4. Packet 3 and packet 4 is included. Okay. It says, first, obtain the documents that you need for the K1 visa interview. You don't upload anything except for a passport photo. I asked Karina, I said, hey, I need a passport photo. So she went to the store, the passport store, whatever she went in Bogota. They took her picture. They emailed it to me here in Florida. I uploaded it. It was a little bit big for immigration, so I had to shrink it down to 600 by 600. And I used that photo to process her DS-160. And that right here is right here. You see it? That's the confirmation page. Once it was confirmed that her DS-160 went to the embassy, I got the confirmation page and I printed it. I printed it twice and I emailed it to Karina. So she has the original email and I got 2 copies. Now, I filled out the DS-160, but she was the person that I was asking the questions to. I asked her the questions in Spanish. She responded in Spanish, and then I answered the question. And then at the end of the DS-160, it asked you, did anybody help you with this form? Which is me. Yeah, I did. So I put yes, and then my name and address. It's easy, guys. You can help your beneficiary. There's no law against it. Okay? You can't see the American flag there, guys. There we go. There she is. Oh, glory. Now, let me see. What other questions do we have? Hey, Ozarka, do you fill out the DS-160 in the SEAC website? No. No. Well, here's what you do. Yeah, you do. Let me go to the website for you. You're absolutely right. You do. I stand corrected. The website is seac.state.gov/geniv/ right here. You see it? Right here. That's the website you go to. So I clicked on it and it took me to the SEAC website. And then it asked me to make sure I wasn't a robot, the Terminator. I'll be back. It wanted to make sure I wasn't a robot from the future. And then it let me in. I picked the country and the city. It says what country and city. I looked for Bogota, Colombia. There it is. And then I started. And then it asked me, are you processing a K1 visa for a fiance? What kind of visa? K1. Boom. And then it took me to the website and I completed it. So Karina was on her phone. I was on my phone like this. And she was on her phone, and I'm asking her, hey, what's your address of your mom? Where does your mom live? What, all these questions. Have you ever done this? Have you ever been there? Have you ever did this? What did you do this? Did you go there? Did you do this? For an hour, we were talking back and forth while she was trying to work. So she answered all the questions. I translated it from English to Spanish. And then I added at the end that I helped her. And we're done. Boom. Now I got to pay for the darn thing. And I'll do that tonight. Let's see. Susie Goldemes. Hello, Diego. Susie. What's going on, Susie? Hey, Bad. Do you fill out the DS-160 in the SEAC website or the embassy website? SEAC website. Yes. The SEAC website. The SEAC website takes you to the embassy website. The SEAC is a portal to the embassy. You just got to pick the right country. Susie Goldemes, I got the letter also, but the payment is to the bank, not the embassy. Okay, Nigeria has its own way of doing things. Don't worry. As long as you pay it and get the MERV receipt, doesn't matter how. For Colombia, they gave me two choices, by credit card or cash. So I could mail Karina some cash and she can go pay it at the bank, but I think I'll just pay it from my credit card right here. Beto Trejo, hello, Diego. Congratulations for your DS-160. Ooh, I got a headache. I'm waiting for Bogota Embassy. My case was ready September 29th. Any idea when I'll get a response? September 29th, so 30/31. What's today? The 14th. That's 16 days. It took 11 days for me, so you are going to probably be within the next few days. A few more days, Beto. Be relax. You got it. Relax. Send the embassy an email. Send the embassy in Bogota an email and check in with them. When I did that, when I checked in with the embassy, they responded back, hey, Diego, thanks for checking in. We appreciate it, blah, 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 blah. Couple of weeks, we'll notify you. Took them 11 days. Why was it so quick? Because I contacted them and asked them, I'm checking in. I knew exactly how to do this. I know how to do this. Is my second rodeo. But it's always good to check in with the embassy. And then they know that you know that you have ready status. So they're not putting you to the back of the line. They don't put their feet up in their hammock for a siesta because they know you're waiting. How do they know? Because you emailed them. I'm not saying the embassy staff do that. They do good work. I mean, they're working their butts off. I'm just joking around. But you see what I'm saying, right? Yo te lo cuento. Hola, Diego. Hola. Yo te lo. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Sí, muy disfruta fin de semana. Gracias. I tried to fill out the I-134, but the form said it expired. No, you can use it. You can use it. Go back to that form and fill it out. You can use that form. I filled out the same one. J. Mona, good night, Diego. Pay for the visa interview day is November, but only December for medical appointments in Jamaica. Okay, but you're going to have the visa interview's got to be after the medical exam. I mean, I don't know. The medical exam's good for 6 months. Maybe you'll be okay. But the embassy, the doctor may require you to have the medical exam once you have a visa interview scheduled. So I would schedule so the visa interview's in November. Okay, schedule the visa interview, but you won't get the visa until December because the embassy's going to wait for the medical exam. They're going to wait for it. You'll get the interview, and then they'll say, "Where's your medical exam?" And you say, "Well, you're still waiting on the doc." Then they say, "Okay, well then you wait on your visa." When the doctor sends the medical exam to the embassy, you will get your visa. Christopher Stout, congratulations for your forms. Ooh, I got a headache, guys. I tell you, it took me an hour to fill out the DS-160 with Karina. Now, what was difficult, I wanted to do it with her in Bogota. But when I read the instructions, it says I can't schedule the visa interview until the DS-160 is completed. Well, I'm not going to fly to Colombia and hope I got electricity and internet. Well, obviously I'll have electricity, but the internet's not great. But here I know my internet's not going to go down. It's not going to go down. So I said, okay, I'll do the DS-160 here, schedule the visa interview, pay the visa fee. Once I get it all done, then I'll fly to Colombia. Okay. But Karina, I had to ask her every single question. She's at work, and I asked her the question in Spanish, and she would respond in Spanish, and then I would enter her response in the computer. I got a headache. Oof. Claudia Razniak. Hey, Diego, my fiance got bank statements from September 22 to 23. That's good. Very good. But when's the visa interview? When's the visa interview? Rose A. Hi, Diego. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. We finally got our Nigerian embassy interview, so Lagos, for December 20th, right before Christmas. Getting closer for my fiance to be together. Rose, great news. That's fantastic. Karina and I send you big hugs and happiness. You're close. And right before Christmas. Maybe you can get a flight out of there before Christmas and have Christmas here. Or you go there and have Christmas with the family there in Nigeria and then come here. John McGuire. Hello, Diego. Thank you for sharing your experience. Hey, it helps you guys, right? I'm here to help you. We received our NOA2 notice today. Good. December 6th, my beneficiary is in the Philippines. Okay, so if your beneficiary is in the Philippines, be ready for a crazy medical exam by the doctor in Manila. Be ready for a crazy medical exam. You may have to get a sputum test. The Philippines are getting pretty strict. Just giving you a heads up. Randall Wheat, high five super chat from Randall. Now, Randall, I went to Walmart today. Whoa. Man, I just tore up the whole camera. I went to Walmart today and got my Mountain Dew. How about that? Thank you, Randall. You're going to keep me in Mountain Dew for October. And I destroyed the camera. I knocked it over. Let's see. Abduli Jallo. Hello, Mr. Diego. Good morning to you. Watching from the United Arab Emirates. Well, we send a big hello to our friends in the UAE. We hope you're good. We hope you're doing good. Edward Tubman Jr. Hi, Diego, from Liberia in West Africa. How long does it take to get welcome letter? I got my case number. Well, the case number comes with the welcome letter. So it sounds like you got it. What does it say in the email? I need to know more information. Christopher Stout, he got his ready status on my birthday yesterday. Well, happy birthday, Christopher. Daggy, what time you advise to be at the embassy for 8 a.m. appointment? I would say 6:30 a.m. Be there at 6:30. It's going to be a long line, Daggy. Which country? Remind me. Remind me the country. But it's like, an hour and a half before your visa appointment is when I would be there. If Karina's visa appointment in Bogota is 7 a.m., we're going to be at the embassy at 5 a.m. Freezing our butts off with big jackets, sitting in the embassy compound because there's going to be a long line, and you got to go through a security check. You got to look for passports. They got to look on the list to look for Karina's name on the checklist. Did you schedule a visa interview? Is this a real thing? The security's tight. Security is tight. Let's see. Jamona, thank you. No problem. Edward Tubman Jr., I got my case number July 18th. July, August, September, October. So you were very close. Send an inquiry to the MVC and do a spot check. Send an inquiry. See what they tell you. Rose is thanking Susie. Christopher, how many days do you think she will get the interview? For the Philippines? It's pretty quick. The only holdups I'm seeing in the Philippines is the fact that the doctors are asking for a sputum test, and that knocks you back 6 weeks, or 6 to 8 weeks, 6 weeks, because you got to wait for the result of the sputum test. So that's for TB. So apparently there seems to be an outbreak of TB in the Philippines. I don't know, but be prepared for that. Don't get mad if you get told you got to wait another 6 weeks for a sputum test. And if you've scheduled the visa interview, you're going to have to reschedule it. This is for our friends in Manila or in the Philippines, Cebu, Dibugeti, wherever you live in the beautiful Philippines. Let's see here. Claudia Razniak, visa interview is November 3rd. Whoa, next month. So September 2022 to September 23 bank statements should work. I would get October 2022 to October 2023 bank statements. That's what I'm going to do for Karina. If I can get her visa interview scheduled like tonight, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll do it like in the morning when everybody's asleep. If I can do it, I'll wait for my bank statement for October, which will be here any day. Or no, it'll be November. I'll get that, right? Yeah, I think you'll be okay with that. But if you can get November's too, well, November 3rd is impossible. September to September, try and get October's if you can get October's. But September to September is good. You're good. Randall Week, congrats, Diego. The dew on me. I got the Mountain Dew. I'm going to keep stocked up. It keeps me energized for the live stream. Fardis Muhammad. Hi, Diego. I applied for fiance this April. When do you think they will get you'll get the email? April of 20. So probably by about February or March of 2024, Fardus, you will get your NOA2 letter. Next year. So kick back in your, just relax, enjoy Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, relax. And next year you'll get it. February, March, somewhere in there. Denise Jefferson, Diego, congratulations. Thank you, Denise. Glad to hear that things are moving in Nigeria. Yes, Denise. Things are moving in Nigeria. The log jam is getting unjammed. Okay? So the folks in Lagos are now processing K1 visas. Things are moving forward pretty good. For folks in Nigeria, we wish you well. You're going to get your K1 visa. Ingrid Rogers. Hi, Diego. I was finally able to schedule my visa interview for October 27th. Ingrid, you rock. Ethiopia, Daggy's fiancés in Ethiopia. Okay, beautiful country. Get there 2 hours early. 2 hours early. How's the traffic in Ethiopia? Where's the embassy, right? Where's the embassy at in Ethiopia? Addis Ababa? How's the morning traffic? Is it busy? Is there a lot of commuters? Is it crazy? Bogota traffic sucks at 6 o'clock in the morning. The calles, the principal calles are backed up with traffic for miles. That's why we're going to ride a taxi. Well, a taxi, probably no. We're probably going to catch a bus because the bus can go through the bus lane. If we get a taxi to the embassy, we'll be stuck in traffic. We'll be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting in the Bogota traffic. And then there could be some idiot decides to stop. And then he stops. And then everybody's backed up because he wanted to buy something from a vendor in the street. Who knows? Okay, I will not drive a car in Bogota. I have driven in England. I've driven in Sardinia. I've driven in Sicily, Italy. I've driven in all over the world. But I will not drive in Colombia. I will get killed within my first 10 minutes. Not because I'm doing something wrong, but because I'm probably not knowing what the heck I'm doing. Anyway. I have the utmost respect for the folks that drive in Colombia, especially the police. Man, on their motorcycles, they rock. Woo, they're good. Watching the policia, man, they can hold butt. Anyway, that's Bogota for you. Guy Trainer, the embassy in Santo Domingo said there weren't any more consular appointments until 2024. Okay. But don't listen. No, there you go. Don't listen to them. On 10/11, I got an interview for 10/24. Now, Guy Trainer, didn't I say to you that they're telling stories, right? Just like I got an email from the embassy. I got an email from the MVC that told me that the embassy in Bogota was closed because of COVID. You guys remember that, right? I'm like, seriously? I said, hey, Karina, go check on the embassy for me in Bogota. We live 20 minutes from the embassy. She jumped on a bus, went to the embassy, and they're wide open, processing K1 visas. So then she calls and she speaks to Diane, I think her name is. I don't want to give out her name or last name, but she said, yeah, we're open. What are you talking about? So I emailed the MVC and said, hey, guys, you got to stop telling me stories. And you need to send my freaking visa to the embassy. Don't send me another email that says that the embassy's closed because of COVID. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. I know people in DC that will investigate you. So they boom, 2 days later, my visa's in Bogota. Let me see. Jason Mabry, a guy trainer, says, I want to tell everybody not to give up. Don't do it. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't do that. Jason Mabry, I was excited to see your video about November, December 2022. Filers, yes. December 29th, 2022 for us. Okay, Jason. So very soon you're going to get your NOA2 letter. Not much longer. But because you're at the end of the month, if you're at the very end of December, because of Christmas, it could slow down a little bit during Christmas week. The folks at the embassies and around American embassies and the MVC, USCIS, you got to give them Christmas with their families. They're working hard for you guys. They're doing a good job, but give them their Christmas break, okay? Benny Yao, hi Diego. My case is in transit. Thanks for all your work. Benny Yao. Now, Benny Yao, your beautiful prometida is in the Ivory Coast, right? And then you flew to the Ivory Coast to visit with her. And when you were at the hotel in Queens, New York, waiting for your connecting flight to the Ivory Coast, you joined the live stream. How cool was that? And then you went to the Ivory Coast and you joined the live stream. And then you came back to the United States and you had an RFE. And you had a big heart attack because you had an RFE. But once I explained to you not to have a heart attack, it's no big deal. You did good. And you responded to the RFE just like that. And guess what? What happened? You got your NOA2 letter, right? Then what happened? Now you're in transit. Man, you're close to the finish line. You're right there. You're right there, Benny Yao. You're right there. Susie Gaudamas, congratulations to everyone, yes indeed, who has achieved in getting an interview. Yay, Susie, everybody. That's true. Now, when you get your interview date, we're giving you high fives, guys. We're giving you high fives. Benny Yao. Now you're being naughty, Benny Yao. You're giving me a super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. You're in the credits already, but I appreciate you, and thanks for the super chat. But save some money. Gotta save that money for your wedding and for your reception. And I'm sure you're gonna take another plane ride right to the Ivory Coast, which is good. And I knew you were gonna get your visa, even though you were panicking over the RFE. I got an RFE on my first K1 visa. I had a heart attack. I'm like, what the heck? I got this letter, big in black letters, immigration, USCA. I'm like, oh my, it's worse than the IRS sending you a letter. And I opened it up. It's an RFE. What is that? Oh no, man, where's my blood pressure medicine? And then I went through that experience, and it was no big deal. I didn't tell the immigration officer in my K1 visa package what was the website that I met my first beneficiary. What was the name of the website? I didn't tell him. And I checked in the I-129F. No, this is not an IMBRA. But they wanted to have proof that it wasn't an IMBRA. So I had to download the terms of service from the website where I met my first beneficiary. I printed it. I highlighted in there, this is not an IMBRA. I printed a copy of my credit card receipt showing where I paid to join the website, included that. So I had two kinds of evidence. And within 2 weeks, I got the RFE was taken care of and my visa was approved. So guys, if you get an RFE, don't panic. Calm down. The only thing you have done is made your wait time a little bit longer for your K1 visa. Just a little bit longer. But the thing is this, if you're patient, if you have learned anything from Diego over the years that you've been watching, the year you've been watching this channel, is if you have learned patience, you're going to be fine. You're going to get through this. Benny Yao, I'm very happy for you. You are this close to a visa now for your beautiful soon-to-be wife in the Ivory Coast. And I hope you had a good vacation when you went there. I was jealous. You're in the Ivory Coast. I'm here in Florida sweating. I'm like, man, Benny Yao's he's in the Ivory Coast. I would love to go there for a vacation. Denise Jefferson, I don't want to miss anybody. Rama Hassan, hi Diego, I got approval this month. I'm waiting for NBC. Good. Hitchum Adjared, is the visa valid for 6 months from the medical exam or from the interview, from the medical exam? Your K1 visa, when it gets put in your passport, the clock starts when you had the medical exam. Okay? So if you had your medical exam on November 1st and you have your K1 visa interview on December 1st, you've already burned up a month of your 6 months. So you've only got 5 months left on your K1 visa. Denise Jefferson, congratulations, Diego and Karina. We are vicariously, quit throwing those long words out there, living through your experience in this journey. We're here, we're sharing it with you. Our experience helps you guys. You make the process seem attainable. It is. I'm on my second rodeo, Denise. I went through immigration to Hades on my first time. I went through the K1 and the K2. Then I went through the IR1 and the K3, I think, for the child. It was a nightmare. I was in COVID. I had no idea when the embassy was going to open because of COVID. So I'm maintaining a relationship with somebody in a foreign country where I can't leave America. She can't come here because COVID closed the airports, closed the world down. And then finally the world opens back up again, and then COVID kind of goes away, sort of. And then I had to call my friend in DC and say, look, my friend, mi amigo, I've been jerked around by immigration for almost 2 years. I need for you to fix this problem. And he fixed it, and I got a visa interview in Bogota. Now, I don't like to use my friends in DC because I'm in the same boat as you guys. I don't want to use my political connections to speed up the process. And this time I didn't. I have not one time. But in the first time I did, because I was getting frustrated, and it was my first K1 visa. I didn't know what I was doing, and I needed help. But once I learned the process, now I know how to do it. I'm here for you guys. Thank you for sharing the details along the way. No problem, Denise. So what happened after I got the ready status? What did I do? When I got ready status, what did I do? I emailed the embassy in Bogota and said, hey, it's Diego checking in. I got ready status. This is Karina's passport number. She's Venezuelan. This is her date of birth. This is our receipt number for the NOA2 letter. This is the case number. This is the invoice number. I checked in with the embassy and I said, what do we do? 2 days later, they emailed me back and they said, in a week or so, we'll send you a packet 3, packet 4 directions to what to do. 10 days or 11 days later, I'll figure it out. I think it was 11 days. I got the packet 3, packet 4. And it's all in Spanish. So I sent it to Karina, and then I read it, and then I translated it into English. I copy pasted it and put it in WordPerfect in English, so I don't make a major mess up. Even though I can read Spanish, sometimes the words get flipped backwards and forwards. It's like, it's not "Did you have a nice day?" It's "Have a nice day, did you?" So I got to make sure I don't mess it up. And then today, I got the DS-160 completed with Karina. We did it together over the phone. Denise Jefferson, Diego, did I hear you say on a prior live that we could receive an RFE and NOA2 simultaneously? No. If you get your NOA2, you're good. If you get an RFE, you'll get that first. Fix the problem, and then you get the NOA2. That's what happens. If you made a little boo-boo when you filled out the paperwork, little boo-boos, no big deal. I did it first time around. You get your RFE. Just respond to it. Okay, I missed this. I forgot that. No big deal. Respond to it. Then you get your NOA2 once you fix the problem. Jason Mabry, I know it varies by country, but what is expected to pay for the medical exam in US dollars? Jason Mabry, which country? If I can't remember everybody's country. I know some folks. I can remember some folks. Those folks in Colombia, I can remember. Those folks in Venezuela, I can remember. Nigeria, I remember. But which country, Jason? But when I got the packet 2, the packet 3 and packet 4 letter, okay, Here in Spanish, it tells me how much the medical exam is going to cost. Right here. Here's the bill. This is how much it's going to cost me, okay, for the medical exam. It's going to be like 2 million pesos. It's like 400,000 pesos for the physical, 295,000 pesos for the x-ray, 60,000 pesos for the blood test. So that adds up to whatever, and then whatever other stuff. So it's like 2 million pesos, for about, you know, about $500. KJB, hi Diego. Would you be doing an update on case USCIS are working on for future? Yes, for future fun. Yeah, I will. Just like November and December, like I did yesterday. Yeah, as soon as they start knocking out January's, I'm going to make a video for you guys. Okay, January 2020. I mean, I might be in Colombia. I might be here, but wherever I'm at, I'll make a video. Kinza Zane, I don't make much money. Is the I-134 form for the joint sponsor to fill out? Both of you. Kinza Zane, you need to fill out the I-134, and your joint sponsor needs to fill out the I-134. Now, immigration attorneys are going to tell you, the immigration attorney is going to say to you, only your joint sponsor needs to fill out the I-134. I've seen people go to visa interviews around the world with only the I-134 from the joint sponsor, and immigration's asking for the sponsor to fill one out too. They're being put into a 221G administrative hold. So my recommendation is for the sponsor and the joint sponsor to fill out the I-134 and let the consular officer decide what documents he wants. You're going to get a list right here in your packet 3, packet 4, what's required. And it says in here, I got to fill out an I-134. But if you need a joint sponsor, have the joint sponsor fill one out, and you fill one out too, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, and let the immigration officer decide what he or she is going to need. Cover yourself. If you don't need some of this paperwork I'm telling you to fill out, be happy. Don't be mad for me creating work for you. Because one day you're going to be happy I made that work for you. Because then immigration officer is going to ask, I need your second letter of intent to get married. Be ready for that. Christopher, if my stuff for NOA1 approved, does she have like 8 months time frame to be in the USA? What's the time limit from the approval? No, this is what happens, Christopher. When you get when she has her K1 visa in her hand, she has 6 months to use that K1 visa from the date on the medical exam. Okay? Mr. Nahas, hi Diego, I finally contacted MVC and they sent me a case number in Ankara. Good, but no invoice. Do I need it? And what should I do? I don't know if you need it for Ankara, Turkey, but what I would do is send a very polite inquiry to the MVC and say, Dear Mr. and Miss Immigration Officer, or put to whom it may concern, many thanks for the case number, but I need the invoice number. Send him a letter, an inquiry, and ask him for it. I did that. And they sent me the invoice number. And they also sent me a message that says, hey, Diego, we don't control your visa anymore. It's in Bogota, Colombia. Quit emailing us. But here's your invoice number. I'm like, well, thanks, guys. And have a nice day. Terrence Tambagor. Hello, Diego. I submit my fiance interview. So they said they will notify me for the interviews. I want to know, how long does it take for the interview? What country? What did you submit? Did you submit? You have to schedule the visa interview. You have to schedule it. You have to ask right here. It says right here in my packet of information. This is instructions. Right here. I translated it. How to schedule a visa appointment. Right there. Let me see here. I don't know the answer, Terrence. Christopher, James Dean. Hi, Diego. November 18th is my date at USCIS. Does USCIS update the status on the website? Don't pay attention to what USCIS posts on their website. Don't pay attention to it. It doesn't mean a thing, okay? It doesn't mean anything. Just focus on NOA1, NOA2, ready status, and then your packet 3 and packet 4 from the embassy. That's all you got to keep your mind on. Don't go into USCIS. Don't look at their case processing times. Don't look at MVC processing times. Don't look at ship dates. When was my visa shipped from USCIS to the MVC? Who cares? Do you really care what day it was shipped? All you need to worry about, and you shouldn't even have to worry, all you should care about is when do you get your case number, your invoice number, and your ready status. That's all you got to worry about or look for. Do not worry. You will get your visa. Let me see. Christopher James Dean, November 18th, 2022. Filer Terrence. Do I get notified through the account or I get an email for interview appointment? What country, Terrence? Annie Persaud. Good night, Mr. Diego. I'm your fan from Guyana. Well, we love everybody in Guyana, and we love Annie in Guyana and South Africa. So you're in Guyana and South Africa. So you were born in South Africa, you live in Guyana? I've been to South Africa, but I've never been to Guyana. No, I'm going to put it on my list of countries to visit. Jason is in Ghana. Okay, Jason. So in Ghana, you're going to get an email from the embassy in Ghana, and they're going to give you directions on what to do. Wait for that email. Newfound. Hi, Diego. My fiance and I are having a hard time filling out the form I-134. It's not hard. Newfound. I made a video on how to fill out the I-134. I'm going to ask me, what are you stuck on? Where are you stuck? Ask me here. KJB, thanks. You are the best. You guys are the best. James Dean's 2022, Newfound. Do I need to put 1 for my total number of dependents? On the I-134, how many dependents do you have? How many people are you responsible for financially? How many people in your house? How many? How many people do you have to take care of? Put a roof over their head, feed them, clothe them, buy them shoes. Christopher James, mine is November 9th, 2022. Newfound. My fiance and I are confused filling out the I-134. Newfound. I'm going to unconfuse you right now. It's not hard to do. The I-134 is easy. Okay, the questions are confusing. So I understand it may be confusing, but once I've unconfused you, you're going to realize it's easy. James, do they update status on the website? Often, once every week. Newfound. I typed the total annual income, but the total number of dependents should be left blank, or type NA. I typed the total annual income, but the total number of dependents should be left blank. Newfound. How many people are you responsible for in your family? How many people live with you? How many people? How many people are dependent upon you for support? James, I meant I can input my case number and see updates. Yes, you can, but I don't recommend you do that. Terrence, Nigeria. Mr. Diego, you're in beautiful Nigeria. Okay, they're processing K1 visas. Wait for the embassy in Nigeria to email you, just like the embassy in Bogota emailed me. Cecilia Gomez. Hi, I got NOA 1 December 30th, 2022. When will I get NOA 2? I would say end of November, middle of December of this year. James, I'm guessing I should hear something within a month. Fingers crossed. I believe so too. I think so. Christopher Stout, if approved in October, so you're telling me this, that she has to be in the USA by June 2024 deadline? Correct me on this time frame. Let me explain to you, Christopher. Listen, when your beneficiary has her medical exam, that's when the clock starts for 6 months for her to be in the USA. So let me use Karina as an example. If Karina has her medical exam on December 1st and then has her visa interview on December 15th, we already burned up 15 days of her K1 visa. Okay, so she will have 5 months and 2 weeks left on her K1 visa. But when she gets her K1 visa, we're out of Colombia. Okay, we're at El Dorado International Airport, sitting on our bags. I'm with our cat, buying some arepas or some empanadas at the El Dorado restaurant, or buying souvenirs for our friends in America. Denise Jefferson has already earned a T-shirt from Colombia. I'm going to get her a T-shirt from Colombia. Let's see here. Kalkidan Kasian. Hello, Diego. Is my joint sponsor going to put self on the option box of financial information form I-134? I don't. The second block at the top. Okay, there are two blocks. It's going to be: are you processing this K1 visa, this form, to benefit somebody else? That's the one you're going to check. Okay. KJB, would the ready status come from the MVC? It's going to come from the embassy. The MVC is going to send you a notification that it's ready, but then they're done with you. Then it goes to the embassy. Then it's at the embassy. If you get the ready status from the MVC, okay, more likely it's on a plane, or you're going to get a K1 FTP email. It's on a plane headed to wherever. Okay. No file, just one person. Okay, so you're filling out the I-134 and you have no dependents, right? You're the sponsor, right? New file, you're the sponsor. You don't have anybody you're responsible for. So number of dependents is 0. I'm the divorce guy here in Florida by myself. When I fill out the I-134, I don't have any dependents. None. 0. So I'll put my name on the I-134. Dependents will be 0. Okay? That's for the sponsor. And then the beneficiary, you got to fill out her part. How many kids does your beneficiary have? Those are her dependents. Then you can add up the family size. So if you have one person, you sponsor with no dependents, that's 1. And then your beneficiary is coming to the United States with no dependents, that's 2. Your family size is 2. Okay, then you're going to check on the income requirements for a family of 2. Arsenal forever. What about Chelsea or Manchester United? But Arsenal's good. Hi, Diego. I got the case number, but did not get the invoice number. Send them an email. Send an inquiry. Send an inquiry to the MVC. Check in with them and say, hey, guys, thanks for the case number, but I need my invoice number. Send them an inquiry. Identify who you are. Okay, your receipt number from NOA2, your case number, your beneficiary's name, passport number, date of birth, all that jazz, and ask for the invoice number. Okay, Arsenal Forever says, thank you for doing this. No problem, Arsenal Forever. Now, Arsenal, isn't that a soccer team in England? And don't they have like cannons in red as their emblem? I think so, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember who played for Arsenal back in the day. Who's your favorite player for Arsenal? Who do you like? Who's the center forward? Yes, hey Diego, on I-134, is me the beneficiary counted as 1 on the dependent? No children. No, on the I-134 GS, the beneficiary will put her name. You'll put your name as the beneficiary, or your sponsor will fill it out, not you. And if you don't have any dependents, it will be 0. 0 dependents. Yo te lo cuento. Diego, I'm so anxious. My boyfriend taxes last year were $33K from New York. We didn't understand. Well, the chart from the embassy was just us, no kids. What do you think? You're okay. How many people in your family? Yo le cuento. ¿Cuánto tiempo número familia en tu familia? ¿Cuánto número de personas en tu familia? Is it 2 people? You and your beneficiary. Is that all? 2 people? You're good. James Deans, do you know how long it's taken to schedule interviews in Mexico embassy? Well, at Ciudad Juarez in Mexico City is 2 to 4 months. New file, relationship to the individual agreeing to financially support. What should I type in there? Relationship to the individual. You are the sponsor. You're the petitioner. You're the fiance. Pick one. Ashu Sharma. Hey, Diego, how are you? I'm good. Do we need to bring 11 years child to the interview? Yes, you do. Immigration needs to see the kids that are going to the United States. They want to see them. They want to look at them. They want to put eyes on them. They probably won't ask them any questions, but they want to see them. Christopher Stout. Okay, I will tell her about the information of what you said. Okay, I'm not totally sure how often open dates for medical exams and interviews. I'm trying to help you there, Christopher. Diego, on page 13 of the I-134, where you put additional information, whose name goes in number 1? Whose name goes in number 1? It's a sponsor. It's all about the sponsor. Hi, Diego. I'm waiting for MVC. What should I do next? Wait for the ready status from the embassy. Rama. Arsenal. Yes, sir. It's a soccer team in England. Hey, I got a lot of knowledge up in my head here. I thought I remembered Arsenal was a soccer team, football team, right? They're a good team. I know they're a good team. Aren't they near London? I can't remember. I think they're near London. Christopher Stout, from October, if approved, it takes like 90 days to hit the MVC in Manila. Then she has to look for medical exam tests. I'll tell her, for example, all these processes will be done by June. By the summer of 2024, June, July, somewhere in there. Norfolk, thank you, Diego. Another question. Should I type my annual gross income, total gross income, your gross income? How much you make in a year? How much money do you make in a year? That's what you put. Denise Jefferson, holy macaroni. Janice, look, you're keeping me in, everybody's keeping me stocked up on Mountain Dews, Denise. And Denise says right here, so glad we don't have to use an attorney. An attorney will charge you $100 for a phone call. So glad we don't have to use an attorney. Your experience are worth its weight in gold. We appreciate your willingness to always show up for us. I'm always here for you guys. For me, it is considered icing upon the long way. Denise, I'm going to help you through this process, and you're going to be reunited with your future husband in Nigeria soon. Very soon, Denise. We're going to get you through this. And thanks for that super chat. And now I'm trying to figure out, I'm missing questions. Hi, Diego, on I-129F for beneficiary parents, is it okay if one parent does not have a date of birth? It's fine, because they are deceased. That's fine. It won't be an RFE. You just put in the block question marks. You don't know. And then on the back of the I-129F, on the page 13, you got squares where you can write where you can explain stuff. And you say, what you just wrote here in this live stream, write it on the page 13 of the I-129F, and say, hey, the person has passed away, went to heaven. We don't know the date of birth. And you're covered. No RFE, but you got to explain it. Edward Tubman Jr., the MVC sent me this. The MVC received fiance approved I-129 petition from USCIS. MVC will now forward the petition to the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia. That's good. Liberia. It took let me see. It took 11 days from my ready status to the embassy receiving the visa. It probably only took 2 or 3 days because it's not far from New Hampshire to mail a package to Bogota. And what my package was like this thick. It was like this. So it was heavy. The mailing cost to mail my K1 visa cost probably more than the $500, $535 for the visa interview. And GS, I'm in England. Arsenal forever. GS is in London. Monrovia, they'll contact you in a week or so. Arsenal forever. Diego, as soon as I get the invoice number, can I start paying the fees and filling out the forms? Wait until you get the ready status. Wait until you get the packet letter from the embassy. Then you can start. Okay? Terrence, hello, Diego. Just to clear the others asking either the invoice number or the case number, I just want to say some don't need both for their application. That's true. Some embassies don't need an invoice number. Right here in Spanish, the embassy in Bogota emailed me and they said, It says here, right here, it's not necessary for the invoice number. It says right here, it's in Spanish. No necesito un número de invoice ID para. So I'm like, okay, I didn't need it, but I made sure I had it just in case. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. Things have changed in 8 years. So I didn't need the invoice number, but I got it just in case. I covered that part of the base. KJB, I did a joint sponsor for someone years ago, but he hasn't become a citizen yet. Should the person be on the form I-134 as a dependent? Yes. You are still financially responsible for that person. Unless they've been here for 10 years and they've got 40 work hour credits under their belt with the Social Security Administration. So KJB, if this person's been here 10 years or greater, okay, and they've been working, you probably don't have to include them as a dependent. But if they've been here less than 10 years and they haven't been working and they're not an American citizen, you have to include them on the I-134. How about that for good advice? You only learn this stuff here, right? Denise, thank you again for that super chat. You are appreciated, Denise. When I get to Colombia, Karina, she's at work. I think she saw you put the super chat up, but she's at work, so she's sitting on her phone. But we're going to celebrate, okay, your super chats. We're going to go to a steak restaurant in central Bogota. You and Chopper Harley basically covered our steaks 2 times. KGB, also, me and my fiance just had a baby. Should the baby be added as a dependent on the I-134? Yes. You are responsible for that little baby. You got to feed the baby, clothe the baby, put a roof over the baby's head. The baby's an American citizen, so it will go under it will become a dependent for the sponsor, okay? Or you can make it a dependent for the beneficiary, whichever way you want to go. But it's a dependent, the little baby. You got to feed the baby. You got to put clothes on the baby, little booties. You got to buy bottles and diapers, right? Buy a big crib, put a big blanket in the crib for the baby, put some teddies in there. So yes, KJB, the baby is a dependent. Anshu Sharma, will immigration people ask 11 years for the consent? My ex-husband. I don't understand the question, Anshu. Will immigration ask 11 years? What does that mean? Ask 11 years. I don't understand. Father consent. Don't understand. If you have an ex-husband, Anshu, all you need is a divorce decree that's finalized. That's it. They're not going to ask you questions about 11 years ago. They're going to ask you for a divorce decree that's final, and you're good. Diego, I got my visa from India. Bahoo, well, good. Bahoo. Now, I love making Indian curry, okay? Marat Gasalam. What's that spice called? Marat Gasalam. I make Indian curry. I made an Indian curry for Karina when I was in Bogota. It was a little hot. So she was like, oh, it's hot. But she ate it. And Shu, I have the sole custody of my children and I don't know where my ex-husband is living. We are not in touch. Do you have the divorce decree from your ex-husband? And Shu, do you have a copy of the divorce decree that says final divorce? Immigration couldn't care less if you are in touch with your ex-husband or not. They don't care. All they care about is the divorce decree. Anshu, Bahu is telling to Anshu, you have to get consent. Now, okay, now I understand the question. You're asking me, does your ex-husband have to give consent for your children to leave India? Or what country? India. I don't know. In Colombia, South America, Central America, you have to get the other parent's consent for the kids to leave the country. If the person's mom or dad is in heaven, they passed away, you got to have the divorce, the death certificate. So, Anshu, so you have an ex-husband and you got 2 kids that you have sole custody of. What you need to do is contact the Indian immigration at the airport. Go to the airport, whichever one you're going to leave from. Go and ask immigration, do I need to have my ex-husband's consent for my kids to leave the country? It's up to immigration and their airlines. Okay? What airline are you going to fly on? What airline? Ask the airline. And Christopher Stout, high five. Whoa, super chat. Christopher says, great news for my helpful hints of my process. She keeps telling me all this process being done June and July. I'll tell her all of what you say. Do it up. Oh, I will, my friend. Don't get jacked up on my undo. I won't. It's sugar free. Okay. But Christopher, thank you for the super chat. And yeah, by the summer, you'll be fine. You're going to have your beneficiary here by the summer of next year. Anshu, if you have sole custody of your children and you don't know where your ex-husband is, but you got the divorce decree, you got to go and talk to the Indian immigration people and ask them what is their process to leave the country for kids. If you have sole custody, you should have a document in your hand that says you have sole custody. Immigration will want to see that when you leave the country. They're going to want to see the divorce decree, the sole custody document. Okay? But you got to find out what their policies are. The airlines also. Edward Tubman Jr. Been along. I received it July 18th. Arsenal forever. When I tried to log into SEAC, it asked for a case number and invoice number. Okay, well, you need to go. I did. I logged into the SEAC. It didn't ask for the invoice number. So you got to go into seac.state.gov/GENNIV/. seac.state.gov/GENNIV/. See what happens. Ernest Dosti, Diego, have been looking for a slot to book my interview for the last 7 days in Ghana, but no available date. It's not a headache. It's only a headache if you let it become a headache. You don't want to have a headache. What you got to do is you got to keep looking. Okay. When I go to schedule Karina's visa interview, probably tonight when everybody's in bed, there may not be any slots open for me. I'm not going to worry about it if there isn't, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look again tomorrow and the next day until I get a slot. Then I'm going to take it. When I have booked her visa interview, guess what I'm going to do? What am I going to do? I'm buying a plane ticket. I'm flying to Colombia with the original I-134 with my tax return, my tax transcripts, my pay stubs, my bank statements. All that jazz is coming with me in my maleta, in my bag. Keep looking, Ernest. Don't give up. Nick, I forgot to include it. Is there a way USCIS know about one parent being deceased when I submitted the parent information? I don't want to get an RFE. If somebody is deceased, if a parent is deceased, okay, if they don't care. Well, they care, but it's not going to affect your visa process. As long as you put, what did you put on the I-129F? Did you put question marks? You don't know? Did you say you don't know? If you don't know, you don't know. You can't magically create a birthday. Immigration understand. You'll be all right. Relax. You'll be okay. Arsenal forever. Oh, El Diego, the emperor, for doing this. For everyone. May God bless you. Arsenal forever. I'm not an emperor, okay? Emperor. Remember, Rome didn't survive, right? The Roman Empire, they kept sticking their nose in other countries' business, and then they started raising taxes on the Roman citizens, and then the emperors were getting greedy with their taxes, and they kept sticking their noses in other people's business in this country, in this country, in this country, and guess what? The Roman Empire collapsed. Okay? So I'm not an emperor, okay? I'm just Diego with a lot of information. And I'm giving it to you for free. And I love the super chats, guys. We appreciate you for that. You know, I'm saving you a fortune here. And Arsenal, we support Arsenal. But what about Chelsea? Do you like Chelsea? Why did you pick Arsenal as your soccer team and not Chelsea? What about Manchester United? Didn't Bobby Charlton used to play for Manchester United? Bobby Charlton, didn't he have a brother? I can't remember. Jimmy Charlton? I can't remember. Gordon Banks, wasn't he the goalkeeper for the England World Cup back in 1966? Do I have a good memory or what? Gordon Banks was on the World Cup team for England when they won the World Cup. Do you remember Gordon Banks, or are you too young for that? Anshu Sharma, yay, I have the divorce decree, but I'm asking for the children. Okay, Anshu, do you have a document that says you have sole custody of your children? Do you have that? Tess and Rocco, good morning here from the Philippines. Yes, indeed. Going to Manila, St. Luke's because I'm sputum test on Monday. There you go. No problem. You got this. Anshu's congratulating Bahu. Nick, I left date of birth blank. I was not sure. You left it blank. I would have put question marks in there. I would have put question marks. So immigration, no, you didn't forget it. Okay? When you put question marks in there, immigration knows you don't know. Okay? So, but I don't think it's going to be a problem for your visa. Immigration is more concerned about your beneficiary's date of birth, your beneficiary's place of birth, your beneficiary's name, her passport number. They don't really care about the parents. They care, but they don't care. They care about them as people, but they couldn't care about them for the visa, okay? I think you'll be all right. Miss Entertainment, I did translate the birth certificate and police report, but they didn't mention my fiancé name. Well, on the police certificate, it probably says your fiancé's passport number, not the name. It probably has the passport number. But the birth certificate better mention the name. So who did the translation? Who did the translation? When I translated Karina's birth certificate in the Spanish group, I got her birth certificate. I got all her documents right here. I'm ready to roll, baby. But when I translated her birth certificate into English, the Spanish group put her name down because it's on the birth certificate. The Spanish group. So the Spanish group, then obviously, where's the name on the birth certificate? Is it on the birth certificate? Look at that birth certificate again and check the original for the name. The Spanish group do a good job. If the name wasn't on there, then how can they translate it? They can't. Okay, the name is on the original birth certificate, but it's not on the translation. Is that what you're telling me? Double check the translation, and if it's not there, you need to send an email to the Spanish group and have them fix it. They'll fix it for free. Okay, send an email to the Spanish group and say, hey, you guys, where's the name? I need for you to retranslate this document properly. If they made a mistake, they'll fix it for free. All right? Man, my collar's up. You got that? Okay, guys, guess what? I have got to pay for a visa fee for my beautiful Karina, my beautiful Prometida. I got to fill out, I've filled out the DS-160 with her. We did it together. We worked on it together. She probably has a headache because I know I got a headache. She has a headache because she was at work. She was at work trying to run a store, and I kept stopping her every 5 minutes. I got a question. Yo tengo una pregunta. I got a question. She's like, okay, what's the question? What's this? What? Whoo, it took us like an hour to do it. But when I got the confirmation page that her DS-160 is now in the embassy in Bogota, Colombia, she was happy as a clam. She's all excited. Nick, relax. Nick, you're good. Immigration don't care about your beneficiary's father's birthday. If you didn't fill anything in there, they're going to assume you didn't know. Okay? But don't worry about it. Abdul Wahab Kanu. Hey, Diego, my case is in transit. Okay. Now you're going to wait for the ready status, Abdul, from the embassy. It's in transit. Means it's in an airplane going to the embassy. In transit. When I got in transit status for Karina, okay, a couple of days later, I got the ready status. Once I got the ready status, I emailed the embassy in Bogota and said, hello, guys. It's Diego checking in. This is Karina's passport number. her Venezuelan passport. I had to make sure they understand she's from Venezuela. This is her receipt number from my NOA2. This is her case number. This is her invoice number. This is her date of birth. This is her full name. I'm checking in. What do I do next? And I signed it, my full name, first name, middle name, last name. And underneath that, I put petitioner. Because if you're not the petitioner or the sponsor, immigration will not respond to your email. Well, they won't here. I don't know about anywhere else, but at this embassy, they won't. Miss Entertainment, congratulations. Sharon Persikin, look at you. Now it says, high five, Sharon. Thank you for that super chat, Sharon. And there's number 10 in there. That's a good number, number 10. Let's see here. So we appreciate you, Sharon, for that. And like I was just telling everybody, when I get done with the live stream, I'm gonna pay for the visa interview. So now how do I do that? Well, there's instructions right here. Packet 3 and packet 4. It's all in Spanish, but it says packet 3 and packet 4. Okay. So I got the instructions. I translated them into English. Now I can read Spanish, no problem. But sometimes the Spanish is back to front. So it says something. It's like, the house is red, and in Spanish it will say red is the house. So things get flipped around. So I didn't want to mess up. So I translated it into English, and I've already gone through the DS-160 stage. The third stage is pay the visa fee, and they gave me a website right here to go to pay the visa fee. So that's next on my mission tonight. Sharon says, we know you need Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, you're right about that. Mountain Dew keeps me energized, okay? Hold has an interview November 6th in Rio de Janeiro. Now don't forget, Hold, Rio de Janeiro, your beneficiary has to print out a singleness letter, go to the U.S. Embassy website in Rio de Janeiro, look for the singleness letter, print it. I got a copy of it here somewhere for Brazil. I got every country covered, guys. I think I got it here somewhere. I got a picture. This is Karina and I right here. Now that's in Plaza Boulevard in Bogota. We went and ate Indian. I think it was Indian food, or was it? No, I think it was Persian. We ate Persian food, Iranian food in Bogota. It was great. And then we were so happy, then we took this picture. See, if once I eat, I had Mountain Dew. Once I drink my Mountain Dew and I eat something, I'm good. I don't have it. Okay? I thought I had it. But you got to go to the Rio de Janeiro embassy website and print the singleness letter, and your beneficiary has to sign it in front of the immigration officer, and make sure your beneficiary has 8 months or more on her passport. Venezuela, excuse me. Brazil requires 8 months or more of time on the passport. Check the passport. Let's see. Nick, Diego, I can't wait until you provide an update video for January 2023. I'll make one. I'll give you guys the real deal. Okay? I might be in Colombia. I might be here. Wherever I'm at, I'm making videos for you guys. Sharon says, we know you need the Mountain Dew. Miss Entertainment, I think you can make an appointment even before you get a ready status. And I made an appointment for the interview. Okay. Maybe for your embassy, you can do that. For my embassy in Bogota, I can't. I had to wait for this. Then I had to send the DS-160. Now I got to pay the visa fee. Then, once I've done all that, okay, I go to section 3, and it says, how to schedule the fiancé visa appointment. When I go into this website right here, they're going to ask me for the DS-160 confirmation number, so they know I've already submitted, or Karina submitted the DS-160, and they're going to ask me for the case number. That's Bogota. Let's see. Christopher, thank you guys for the helpful hints. I'll see you again, hopefully tomorrow evening for your pop-up stream. Do it up. Oh, I will. And Christopher, right here. I've got more in the fridge. Okay. And I've got more in the fridge. Sharon Persekian, I got my approval letter from USCIS. Woohoo! High five, Sharon. Good job. That's excellent. So I got a headache. I did the DS-160 with Karina. It was like her phone and my phone. We were texting back and forth, and she was at work and she's trying to take orders from customers in northern Bogota. She actually works in I think it's can't remember the name of the place. I wrote it down, but it's northern. It's not Bogota. I thought she was working in Bogota. Now I know why it takes her forever to get home. But she's taking orders from customers. I'm asking her questions. We're doing the DS-160 together. And then a customer comes in and wants to order this big birthday cake that she's going to design for the client. And then I'm asking her questions. And then I'm having to sit and wait for her to respond so I can answer the question on the DS-160. That was a headache, but it's done. She's good to go. She's done. Just got to pay for it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I've been talking for 1 hour and 21 minutes. What day is it today? Today's Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. Tomorrow's a rest day, guys. I want you to relax. I don't want you to think about K-1 visas. I don't want you to worry about immigration. I don't want you stressing the MVC or USCIS. Relax tomorrow. Watch a movie. Go for a walk around the barrio, whatever. Get on the phone. Talk with your beneficiary, with your prometida. Tomorrow's a day off. I'll be back on Monday at 7 p.m. And then on Tuesday, because you guys missed me on Monday, on Tuesday I'll do another live stream at 11:30 in the morning. How about that? You want me to do that? Monday night I'll do a live stream. Tuesday in the morning I'll do a live stream for our folks in England and Australia and all that, and New Zealand. And then Wednesday night I'll do a live stream. Then Thursday I'll take a day off unless you want me to do a live stream. Friday in the morning I'll do one, and then Saturday night. That's plenty of time for you guys to ask me all your questions. And for the new folks that are getting here, I got an itch. Christopher, thank you guys for the hints. I'll do it up. Sharon got her approval letter. APO_97. Hey, Diego, I don't think you remember me, but my NOA2 was July 28th, and now finish all the DS-160 and wait in medical and waiting for the interview. Well, how about that? Now, remember this, EPO_97. Tell us what country you guys are working from. Boy Thang, what is wait time after medical exam? Well, I'm going to schedule visa. I'm going to schedule Karina's visa interview. And whatever day that is, I don't know yet. I want to see if I can do it tonight when you guys are sleeping. And I will then call Karina and wake her up out of her sleep and tell her very friendly and very nicely and very lovingly to schedule the medical exam 2 weeks before the visa interview. 2 weeks is good. Sharon, I'm going to try on dresses tomorrow. Woo-hoo! Sharon, now when you try on dresses, make sure you get pictures. And then send pictures to your prometida, to your fiance, so he can bring those pictures to the visa interview. Elpo_97, Burma. That's right. I remember you from Burma, because if I remember, you put a message out here on the live stream that you were from Burma, and I was very pleased and very happy for you that you didn't call it the other name, because the other name was put in there by the communists, right? But Burma is the real name of your country. So you did good on calling your country Burma, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud you didn't capitulate to the other people. Sharon, you got it right. Get pictures in the wedding dresses. Get pictures. Put them on your phone. Put them on your computer. Then email them to your beneficiary, to your prometida. Okay. and then you'll have them for the visa interview. Hold. Has anyone had any experience with self-harm doing to the arms and legs of problems during the medical exam? Hold. Here's the thing. I'm not a medical doctor, but here's what I know about this. If you have inflicted self-harm, if your beneficiary has inflicted self-harm on the legs or the arms, and the doctor finds out, and the doctor sees it, and the doctor asks, how did you get that? And the person says, I tried to self-harm myself. There's going to be a big problem for the K-1 visa. It'll go two ways. It will be denied by the doctor, or the doctor will put the person into treatment for a few months, maybe 5-6 months, to see if that person has any mental problems. If after the 6 months of medical evaluation, the beneficiary has no problems, the doctor will sign off on the K-1 visa. The doctor may say, you're not qualified for the benefit. It's a possibility. Okay, hold. So just be ready. I've seen it in countries. I don't know which country it was. I can't remember. I think it was Singapore. I can't remember. But here's the thing. Okay. The civil surgeon's going to ask the beneficiary, hey, you got scars on your hand. Were they self-inflicted? No, I cut myself climbing over a barbed wire fence. I was trying to steal strawberries from the strawberry field, and I cut myself. Okay? All right, guys. I'm going to go drink a Mountain Dew, make a sandwich. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. I appreciate you guys. Benny Yao, congratulations to you. Soon you're going to be reunited with your family. And Benny Yao, Sharon, Denise, everybody. I appreciate you guys. And when I get to Colombia, when I get to Bogota, I'm gonna personally make sure that when I get that steak dinner with Karina, okay, you guys are gonna get the credit for it. I'll make a video in the restaurant and post it on YouTube. Okay. See you guys later. I'll see you guys on Monday night.